Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good morning to all. Today we are going to conduct a lecture of network theory and analysis. In this lecture or in the previous lectures, we have studied about the basics of these networks, then the various theorems or here the sources. The first sources, energy sources we are studied are voltage source and current source.
Good.
Then in the next one we have also studied about the various theorems which are related with our solution of our networks. So first theorem which we have studied is nothing but the superposition theorem. And after the statement of the superposition theorem, we have also studied one example of this superposition theorem. Then the next point we are covering in our class is nothing but the Thevenin's theorem. So the Thevenin's theorem states that in any two terminal network the circuit can be replaced by a simple equivalent circuit which is having only a voltage source and having only a resistance. So this circuit we are calling as a Thevenin's circuit. So the Thevenin circuit is looking as like that is nothing but the VTH and the RTH. So why we have to convert that? Because in many practical applications, it is always asked to find out a value of current or value of the resistor across a particular resistor. So across, if we have asked to find out that value across a particular resistor, then we are easily able to replace that given circuit into a suitable form. And in that simple form, this circuit consisting of a single voltage source in series with a resistance, where the value of the voltage source is equal to the, so here that value of VTH is equal to the open circuit voltage across the two terminals of the network, and resistance is equal to the equivalent resistance, or here RTH is equal to the equivalent resistance measured between the terminals, with all energy sources are replaced by their internal resistances, or here we are RTH is nothing but the equivalent resistance which is obtained across these two terminals or A and B terminal when that the energy sources are replaced by their internal resistances, or here generally the voltage source is replaced by a short circuit formation and current source is replaced by a open circuit formation. So here that theorem states that we are able to convert a given circuit into a simple form, and that simple circuit is having only a voltage source. That voltage source is nothing but a VTH, and that voltage source is connected in series with the equivalent resistance. That resistance is called as the RTH, and across that 2 points which we have asked to measure the value of that current or resistance, we are able to connect across this A and B points. So into that Thevenin's theorem, VTH is defined as the open circuit voltage between the two output terminals of the circuit, and RTH is defined as the total resistance appearing between two output terminals when all the sources have been replaced by their internal resistance. So based on this, we have to find out, or we are solving one example. And in this example, here we have given, we have to measure, or here in this example, what is the Thevenin voltage for the circuit, or we have to ask only the value of the VTH. So the value of that VTH is nothing but that is the voltage in between that two red points. So here one thing we have to remember, the load resistance has no effect on the Thevenin parameter, or load resistance is 68 kilo ohm. That value does not affect the Thevenin's parameters, or Thevenin's parameters means here the first parameter is the VTH and second parameter is the RTH. So we have to find out the value of the VTH, and the value of the VTH we can find out. The value of VTH is nothing but the voltage across the resistance R2. So the voltage across resistance R2 is nothing but current into resistance. So the value of resistance is given. The value of resistance in our circuit is 27 kilo ohm. So we have only to find out the value of the current. So here V is nothing but equal to I into R by the Ohm's law. So to find out that values, firstly we have to remove out the output voltage. So here to remove out that RL, we are removing that RL. If we remove out that RL, then here that 10 kilo ohm and 27 kilo ohm are in series formation, because here that part is in the open circuit formation. The RL is removed out, there is no current flowing through that RL, or that is absent. So here the current which is supplied through that battery source or the to the voltage source is that current, same current is flowing through from the 10 kilo ohm, as well as same current is flowing from the 27 kilo ohm. If that value of that current flowing in between that R1 and R2 is same, means here that two resistances are in series. So we are able to calculate the value of that resistance. So to share, or here to find out that value, we are sharing our screen. So the value can be find out by using the calculations, and for that calculations we are using the calculator. Calculator is very important for this subject. So here you must have the engineering calculator to solve the problems. So here firstly that 10 kilo ohm and 27 kilo ohm, these two are in the series. So if that two resistances are series, then here the series combination, that two resistance gets added. So here 10 plus 27 is nothing but equal to 37. That is the value of the resistance, and we know that to find out the value of the current which is supplied by this 12 volt battery, the value of that current is equal to, or here the formula for this current is equal to I, it is equal to V upon R. So here voltage divided by resistance. So the resistance is nothing but the 37 kilo ohm total resistance, and voltage input is nothing but a 12 volt. So here 12 divided by 37 is equal to 0.3243 in the terms of the milliampere. And if we multiplied that term, so here we have to find out the voltage drop across the 27 kilo ohm resistor. So the voltage drop across 27 kilo ohm resistor is nothing but the current into resistance. So here 0.3243 multiplied with the value of that resistance is 27. So here the voltage across 27 kilo ohm resistor is equal to 8.756, or here the hour value is 8.76 volt. That is the Thevenin's voltage. Then here we have to find out what is the value of the Thevenin's resistance for the circuit. So to find out the value of this Thevenin's resistors, we are removing that RL, and after removal that RL, this we are looking from this RL side towards this R2 and R1. So during that time, the battery or their voltage source is replaced by their internal impedances. So if we see from this RL side, or if we insert a current, that current is divided into the two parts. Some part of the current is flowing through that R1, then other part of that current will flow through the R2, or to that R2 the other part is flowing. Means here, if there the separate values of that current is flowing, means the two resistances are in parallel form. And if the two resistances are in parallel form, our equivalent resistance is nothing but equal to R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2, or here R1 into R2 means 10 multiplied with 27 divided by, here R1 plus R2 is nothing but the 37. So here 7.297, or approximately the value is 7.30 kilo ohm. These are the values of this Thevenin's current and the Thevenin's voltage. Then here Thevenin's theorem, the next example, when we apply that Thevenin's theorem for the Wheatstone bridge or Wheatstone bridge circuit, at that time it is also applicable. So the way to solve this Thevenin's to that Wheatstone bridge is firstly to create two Thevenin circuit, or that two Thevenin circuits are from A to ground and from B to ground. So here firstly from A to ground, or here A side, then here ground side, then here B side, next one ground side, or by using the two ways, first way and there is the second way. Or here we are considering R2 R4 at first side, or here R1 R3 at the second side. So into that solution, the resistance between the point A and ground is R1 is in parallel with R3. R1, to calculate the resistance calculation, R1 is in parallel with R3, or here the parallel combination is R1 into R3 divided by R1 plus R3, or same as if we are considering the point B, the R2 and R4 are in parallel form, and if they are in the parallel form, the combination is R2 into R4 divided by R2 plus R4. So here the voltage on each side of the bridge is found using the voltage divider rule, or by using the voltage divider rule, or here R1 divided by R1 plus R2, that is nothing but the voltage divider rule. So here we will see one example based on this theorem, or based on this Wheatstone bridge circuit. So in this example, the input supply voltage is nothing but about the 15 volt. Then the resistance value of this resistance R1, value of resistance R1 is 330 ohm, resistance R2 is 390 ohm, resistance R3 is 330 ohm, the resistance R4 is nothing but the 330 ohm. So here the four resistances are given in our Wheatstone bridge circuit, and here the points are A and B. So here 150 ohm we are removing. So here to find out the value of the R1 is into R3. So we know that the when we are considering the A side, in that A side R1 is in parallel with R3. So R1 is in parallel with R3 means directly R1 into R2, R1 into R3 divided by R1 plus R3, or by using that calculator we are also able to calculate over here 330 into 330 divided by, we have R1 plus R3, or 660, that is nothing but the 165 ohm. 165, always remembers that if there are the two resistors, these two resistors are in parallel, and if the values of these both resistors are same, then equivalent resistance is always half of its value. Half of its value means here 330 divided by 2, that is our equivalent value, and that equivalent value is 165 ohm. So here the R1 and R3 are in parallel, the combination is 165 ohm, and if that R2 and R4 are in parallel, at that time R2 into R4, or 390 multiplied with 330 divided by how much, the addition 0 0 9 3 12, so here 3367, or 720 divided by 720. So the value of the equivalent resistance in that B side is 178.75, or approximately we are able to write down as a 179 ohm. The voltage from A to ground with the load is, so firstly we have to find out the voltage from A to ground, or here from A point to the ground point. From A point to the ground point, we are using the voltage divider rule, or in that voltage divider rule, here the two voltages are in the same form, or we are able to write down the formula as R1 divided by R1 plus R3, or R1 divided by R1 plus R3 means here 300 divided by R1 plus R3, or here 660. This value is equivalent resistance, and this multiplied with the input voltage. So here the value is about the 6.81, or here 6.87. So the Thevenin circuit for each of the bridge are shown in the following slide. So here putting the load on the Thevenin circuits. So here if we are considering from A to B, or A to ground, and here B to ground. From that A to ground there is a resistance, equivalent resistance, which is obtained is 165. That is the equivalent resistance, and voltage drop is 7.5. Here 179, voltage drop is 6.87. Putting the load on the Thevenin circuit and applying superposition theorem always you calculate load current, and the load current is, so here we are putting that 150 ohm resistor into the middle part, and the load current is 1.27 milliampere. That current we are able to calculate. Or how we are able to calculate this value. So here 7.5 minus 6.87 divided by, or here the value is 0.63. Then here 0.63 we note down, that is the input voltage. Then 165 plus 150, one minute, 7.5 minus 7.5 minus 6.87, the value is 0.63. We will note down at the different side, 0.63. Then here these three resistances 165, 150, 179, these all are in the series form. So to calculate out their addition will be performed 150 plus 179, 494. So here 0.63 divided by 494 is equal to 0.00127, or if we have 0.123, if that 3 points we are replacing or we are shifting towards the left side, then here it is in the milliampere form. So the equivalent current through that circuit or through that 150 ohm resistor is about the 1.27 milliampere. Then the next theorem that we have to study is nothing but the Norton's theorem. Or in the previous theorem, what we are performing, we are from any given circuit, if that circuit is having the number of current sources, number of voltage sources, we are converting that circuit into a simple circuit which is containing only a voltage source and only a resistance, and that two, that is the voltage source and resistances, are connected in series with each other. The Norton's theorem, its theorem is also similar, but here we are converting that circuit into a form which is having a current source and a resistance. And in that Norton's theorem, here the resistance is connected in parallel with the current source. So the Norton's theorem, or the another method of analyzing the circuit, is given by the Norton's theorem, which states that any two-terminal linear network with current sources, voltage sources and resistances can be replaced by an equivalent circuit consisting of current source in parallel with the resistance. The value of that current source is short circuit current, or here the current source is in parallel with the resistance, and the value of that current source is nothing but the short circuiting current across these 2 points, and the value of that Rn is nothing but the value of that Rn is nothing but the total resistance appearing between the output or the two output terminals when all the sources have been replaced by their internal resistance. Or here Rn is nothing but the equivalent resistance in between that two terminals. So to solve that example of this Norton's theorem, so the a circuit which is having three resistances R1, R2 and RL, and a 10 ohm as a voltage supply. So here in the to solve this circuit, here in that Norton's theorem, the output terminals are shorted, and if that two terminals are shorted, at the time we are finding the current flowing through that short circuit terminal. So in our example, if we shorted that 2 points here, the 1 kilo ohm resistance is also directly gets shorted. So to find out that short circuit current, value, we are using the calculator, or in that calculator, how we are able to find out that short circuit current? Here current is nothing but voltage divided by resistance. The voltage is 10 ohm, 10 volt, and resistance is 560. So why we doesn't put that 1 kilo ohm? Because here when we short circuit that two terminals, that resistance is also gets shorted. That RL we have removed out, and we are calculating the Norton's current. Here that two terminals get shorted, that 1 kilo ohm is also gets shorted. So that only the value of resistance into that closed path is nothing but the 560 ohm. So to find out that current, voltage divided by 560, that is the value of the Norton's current which is flowing through that short circuit terminals. So if we are moving that 3 points to the left side, here the value of that current flowing is nothing but equal to 17.9 milliampere. Then the next one, we have to find out the Norton resistance or the equivalent resistance of the circuit. So to find out that equivalent resistance, we are looking from the RL side towards that R2 and R1. So when we are looking from this RL side towards that R2 and R1, here when we send one current, that current is breaking into the two parts, means here that R1 and R2 are in parallel combination, because this voltage source is replaced by their internal resistance as a short circuit formation. So R1 is in parallel with R2. So when that two resistances are in parallel, the total combination is nothing but R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2, or here 560 multiplied with 1k, or here 1k means 1000 divided by 500 R1 into R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2, or here R1 plus R2 is nothing but R2 is 1000 plus 560, means here 1560, that is the total value of this resistance. So the current, or here the equivalent resistance of this circuit is nothing but the 358.97, or we are able to say that the total resistance of the Thevenin's equivalent circuit is nothing but the 359 ohm. So how we are able to form, because here that current source, we are putting that current source is in parallel with the resistance. So here the circuit diagrams we have drawn, or that circuit diagram consists of a input current source, that is a 17.9 milliampere, and the equivalent resistance is 359 ohm. And after that, the value of this load resistance RL is connected across these 2 points. Across these 2 points, we are connecting and finding the values of that current flowing through that circuit, or value of that voltage through that across this particular resistor. So the next point we will study is nothing but the maximum power transfer theorem. Or in the maximum power transfer theorem, the power is transferred to a source, or where we are able to use that maximum power transfer theorem, or where we needs or remembers that into the public address system. In that public address systems, we require the maximum power transfer, because here to send our voice through that loudspeaker, the voice must be reached to the towards all the people. So for that purpose, the power must be transformed in a maximum way. So how we are able to transfer the power to that load in the maximum way is by using the maximum power transfer theorem. And the maximum power transfer theorem states, or generally in many circuits basically consists of sources supplying voltage, current or power to the load. For example, a loudspeaker system or a microphone supplying the input signals to a voltage amplifiers. Sometimes it is necessary to transfer maximum voltage, current or power from the source to the load. In a simple resistive circuit, here as shown in our diagram, we are able to transfer the maximum power when our the source resistance is equal to the load resistance, or here internal resistance, we are also calling that internal resistance of the source or voltage. So internal resistance is equal to the load resistance. If that two values are same or Rs is equal to RL, then we are able to transfer maximum power to the load. So the in general way, the formula for this maximum power or power is nothing but the equal to current into voltage, and unit of the power is a watt. So here the maximum power is transferred from a source to a load when the load resistance is equal to the internal source resistance. So the internal source resistance is Rs, and the maximum power transfer theorem assumes the source voltage and resistances are in the fixed form. So we will solve one example. So here what is the power delivered to the matching load? So how we are able to calculate the power? So we know that power is equal to voltage into current, or general way the power delivered to that load RL we are able to calculate through the calculator here. Generally in our circuit here 50 ohm resistor is in series with the 50 ohm resistor, means here the two values gets added. So here 50 plus 50 is equal to 100 ohm, and value of that current is nothing but the voltage divided by resistance, or voltage divided by resistance is 10. Voltage is 10 divided by resistance is 100. That is the value of the current. Current value or current flowing through that circuit is 0.11 ampere, because the unit of that current is ampere. So here 0.1 ampere current is flowing, and the power dissipated across this load resistance RL is equal to P is equal to one thing is current, P is equal to V into I, or here current into voltage, or here I square divided by R, or I square into R, and V square divided by RL. So by that way we are able to calculate. So if we know the current flowing through that circuit is I, so here 0.1 into 0.1 I square into R into 50, that is equal to the 0.5 watt. That value is also same with our given value 0.5 watt, but instead of that 0.1, or here bracket square into R, here V square divided by R, or here the voltage to the load is 5 volt, or to that load the voltage is 5 volt, and the power delivered is to the load is V square divided by R, or V square means here 5 into 5 divided by 50, or actually 5 into 5 divided by 50 is equal to 0.5 watt. That is the power dissipated through that load area. So if that two resistances are the same value, then here power delivered is maximum. So if the value of that resistance is 100 ohm, then what happens? So value of that resistance is 100 ohm, means here 5. So here 5 into 5 divided by 100, that is nothing but the 0.25, which is also a greater, because here 5 into 5 divided by 25, which is 0.25, means here if that value of that resistance is equal to, or if the value of that resistance is equal, or instead of that 50 ohm, if that value is 100 ohm, then power dissipated is less, that is the 0.25 instead of that 0.5 watt. So the next point is nothing but the star to delta and delta to star conversion. So always remember, into that delta, the resistances are given as Ra, Rb, Rc, and into that delta formation, the resistances are given as R1, R2, R3. So the firstly, from delta to star, or here star is we are calling as a Y, and delta we are given representing as a triangle form. So firstly we are able to convert that star network into the delta network and delta network into a star network, because that nodes are remaining same, that is same node, then here is also same node, here is also same node. So firstly, for delta to star conversion, each resistor in a Y is to the equal to the product of resistors in the two adjacent delta branches divided by the sum of all the three resistors. So here means, here when we are converting from delta to the star formation, so here in that star, here from Ra and Rc, the formation is R1. So the value of R1 is equal to the product of resistors in the two adjacent, or here for this R1 the adjacent resistors are Ra into Rc, adjacent branches divided by the total sum of all the three resistance, means R1 is equal to Ra Rc divided by R1 plus, or here Ra plus Rb plus Rc. And in the opposite form, when we are converting delta to Y and Y to delta conversion, the formulas allow a three terminal resistive network to be replaced with the equivalent network. So firstly, if we have a combination as a Y formation, that is the R1, R2, R3, that is the star formation is present, and we have to make that star configuration into the delta formation. For that, the value of that resistance, or here from this star to the delta, into that star to delta, the values are Ra, Rb and Rc. So what is the value of the Ra? So the value of Ra is equal to sum of all the products of resistors. Sum of all the products of resistors means, here sum is addition. So here R1 into R2 plus R2 into R3 plus R3 into R1. So here is equal to sum of all products of Y resistors taken at the two at a time divided by opposite side. So here R1 into R2 plus R2 into R3 plus R3 into R1 divided by, if we want to find out the value of this RA, the opposite side is R2, means here R1 into R2 plus R2 into R3 plus R3 into R1 divided by R2. So by using that, we are able to find out the star and delta formation. So from that we will stop, and here some of the basic revisions of this forms. So current source, a device that ideally provides a constant value of current regardless of the load, we are calling as a current source. So maximum power transfer theorem, the transfer of maximum power from a source to a load occurs when the load resistance is equal to the internal source resistance. Then Norton's theorem, a method of simplifying a two commercial linear circuits into an equivalent circuit with only a current source in parallel with a resistance. And lastly, a method for analyzing of the circuits with more than one source is nothing but the superposition theorem. So the next one, the concept or the technical equivalency, the concept that when any given load is connected to the two sources, the same load voltage and current are produced by the both sources. Thevenin's theorem, a method for simplifying a two-terminal linear circuit into an equivalent circuit with only a voltage source, that is VTH, in series with the resistance we are calling as a RTH. Then voltage source, a device that ideally provides a constant value of voltage regardless of the load. This one we are calling as a voltage source. So here are some of the quiz questions we are able to solve. So the first quiz question is, the source resistance from the supply is about the 1.5 volt. Here that formation is nothing but the D cell formation. The voltage that appears across 75 ohm load will be. So what is the value of the voltage appears across the 75 ohm load? So the value obtained across this 75 ohm load is, or voltage drop across 75 ohm. So we are able to calculate by using the calculator. 1.5 plus 75, these two are in series. So the supply is 1.5 plus 75, that is equal to 1.5 plus 75 is equal to 76.5. So 1.5 divided by 76.5 is the current which is flowing through the circuit, and the voltage across this REL is current multiplied with the resistance, or that is current we directly multiplied by using the resistance. This resistance is about the 75. So here the voltage drop across the 75 ohm load will be 1.4705, or here 1.47 volt. So for that quiz question, the answer is 1. Then the next quiz question, the internal resistance of an ideal current source. So here, if the current source is there, the internal resistance of the ideal current source must be infinite. For this current source, the internal resistance must be infinite. This is the, or here answer is the C. So first is A, second is C. Then third question, the superposition theorem cannot be applied to circuits with more than two sources, non-linear circuits, circuits with current sources, ideal sources. So the superposition theorem cannot be applicable to the non-linear circuits. The answer is B. Because here for the linear network we are able to apply all these theorems. For the non-linear network, means here in that network the branches are crossing to each other, then we are calling this one as a non-linear network. So that superposition theorem cannot be applied to the non-linear network. Then Thevenin circuit is a, what we call Thevenin circuit is a resistor in series with the voltage source, a resistor in parallel with the voltage source, resistors in series with a current source, resistor in parallel with a current source. Or in that voltage source or Thevenin's theorem, we are having VTH and RTH. These are the two resistances which are connected in series. Means here the first option is correct, resistor in series with a voltage source. The next one, a Norton circuit is a, or in that Norton circuit we are converting that circuit into a Norton's equivalent current source, and uh, that current source is connected in parallel with the resistance. Means here it is nothing but a current source in parallel with the resistance. Their option is D, a resistor in parallel with a current source. That is we are calling as a Norton circuit. So here a signal generator has an output voltage of 2 volt with no load. When a 600 ohm load is connected to it, the output voltage drops to the 1 volt. Then Thevenin resistance of the generator is, or generally the circuit, the input supply is nothing but the 2 volt with the no load, or here there is no load is connected. Means here at a time it is acting as a short circuit. So here only one load is available, but when 600 ohm load is connected to it, the output voltage drop half. Half means here the load resistances must be a same. So here when that load resistance is 600 ohm, then here the internal resistance must be also 600 ohm. So the 5, the answer is 6, 600 ohm. Or generally we are having the, or here for that 5 the answer is B. We are able to check. For that 5 the answer is 600 ohm, because here when that two values are same, the maximum power can be transfer can be takes place. So here 1 volt drops across this 600 ohm and another 1 volt is dropping across the next 600 ohm. So the next question is, a signal generator has an output voltage of 2 volt with no load, and when 600 ohm load is connected to it, the output drops to the 1 volt. The Thevenin voltage of the generator is. So the Thevenin voltage of that generator. So here 1 and 1 is falling. Means here the Thevenin voltage is also the 2 volt. So 6, the value is also B. Question number 6. That is the input voltage 2 volt. Some part is falling across, or exactly half part is falling across the 600 ohm, exactly half part is falling across the 1 volt. So the seventh question, a Wheaton's bridge is shown with a Thevenin circuit as viewed with respect to ground. The total Thevenin resistance RTH plus RTH dash is. So the RTH and RTH dash. So the value of that RTH is how much? Because here for this RTH, these are from the A side, then RTH dash is from the B side. So firstly we have to see that 1 and this 1 are in parallel. So 1 and 1 are in parallel means here the value of 1 kilo ohm and 1 kilo ohm are in parallel is the equivalent resistance is exactly half, or here R1 into R3 divided by R1 plus R3, or whose value is exactly 500 ohm. And the next one, 1k is in parallel with 470. So for that purpose we use the calculator. 1k means 1000 multiplied with 470 R1 into R2 divided by 11470, or here 319 plus 500 means here 819.72, or here the value is C, that is the 870. Question number 7, answer is 820, or that is nothing but the C. Question number 7, answer is C. Then here question number 8, the Norton current for the circuit is, or here we are short circuiting that part, that 1 kilo ohm is also short circuited form, that is we have removed out. So the value of that Norton current is nothing but a 10 divided by 1k, or here 10 divided by 1k means 10 divided by 1000 is equal to 0.01, or that is nothing but in the ampere. But if we increase the 3 points, or here that 0.1 into the left hand side, if we are increasing, then here 1, 2 and 3 means here 10 milliampere. So the answer for this 8 is 10 milliampere, that is nothing but the D. Answer for 8 is D, that is the 10 milliampere. Then for this 9, the Norton resistance, we have to calculate the Norton resistance. At the time we are removing that part, we are removing that RL, then here removing that 10 volt supply, then here R1 is in parallel with R2 means here exactly half, or here 1k means 1000 ohm, 1000 ohm divided by 2 means here the answer is 500 ohm, or we are able to find out as like 1000 R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2, that is nothing but the 1000 plus 1000 is nothing but the 2000, and our answer is 500 ohm, that is the answer. So the 9th number answer is A, that is the 500 ohm. Then last one, the maximum power transfer, or here maximum power is transferred from a fixed source when the load resistance is equal to the source resistance, that is the B answer. So when that load resistance is equal to the source resistance, for this 10 the answer is B, for this 10 answer is B. So we will conclude that points here. In the next lecture we will conduct next points. So thank you, we will stop here. Any doubts?
सर मी 17 पासून लेक्चर करणार आहे.
ओके, उद्या
माझी एक्झाम आहे. नाही